In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Move tool, as well as the Transform tool to move around objects and to change their location, their rotation, their size, and sometimes their warp. So, the Move tool in the toolbar is your very first version of options. The old version used to look like a little arrow. Now it looks like this four-cornered arrows or four-direction arrows. There's a couple of different things that's in here, but I wouldn't play around with those. The Move tool is the main one that you want. Artboards is for making new canvases. The quick button for this is V, and this can be very helpful. So I'm going to zoom back out, and what this does is it allows us to click on an object and to move it around. Super simple. This moves the objects themselves, so you can see how, even when I zoom out, that the canvas doesn't move at all. It's only the object. But I can only move it around. I can't really change any of its directions. So what I'd want to do while I'm moving this is I might want to change the direction and change what kind of things are happening to this. So in the top bar, I can come to Edit, and I can come to Transform. Free transform is a really nice one, and we can reach that by Command T if we want to, and it's a little bit of all the other transform methods. Down here, we have different transform methods. Scale is for making it larger or smaller. Rotate is for spinning it around. Skew can slant it. Distort can also do it also warps it in a weird way. And perspective is a very fancy way for changing it so that it fits to a perspective guide. So it can look like it's coming towards us or going backwards. You'll have to play around with it, but those can be kind of interesting. Down here, we can also rotate it a specified amount, as well as flip it horizontally or vertically. Flipping is very helpful if you just wanted to switch the direction that it's located in. I like to just use Command T so I can go into Free Transform because that's a little bit of it all. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and zoom. And we can see that we can change the anchors to move it. And so the bounding box and these anchors will make it a little bigger or a little smaller. In older versions, to make it keep the same size, you used to have to press Shift. But now, if you press Shift, this allows you to warp it. So now I can get it kind of weird if I need to, or warp it in ways that I want. I don't really want to do those too much because it'll often look very strange if I warp it too much. Once I'm happy with the size that it is, I can come up to the top and press check, or I can press minus to send it back. Another thing that I can do is if I hover just outside of that bounding box, notice that it changed. Now I can curve it. So I can change this a little bit so I can make it smaller and make it tilt up. Up in the top bar, there's a couple of other things that we can do. We can press this mesh that puts it onto the warp side. We can also access warp under Edit, Transform, and then Warp. I like using this one because it's pretty quick. But what that does is it allows me to push and pull on the inside of things as well as on the outside so to be able to warp this. So I can make this really dramatic and I can shift things, but I don't think I want to do that so much. I'm going to go back before the warp, but I was happy with the tilt and the sizing that I did, and I'll press OK. So that is using the Move tool and the Warp tool to kind of change things. Extra bonus thing, if I want to make duplicates of things and I'm on the Move tool, if I hold down Option or Alt and I click and drag, every time I let go of it, it'll make a duplicate. If I check the Layers palette, notice that it makes it makes new layers for each one of those. So use that to quickly make copies of things without having to copy and paste. Or you can always make a selection of things and come to Edit and Copy, as well as Edit and Paste to make copies. the old-fashioned way. So there we go. If I have too many objects in a scene, notice that I can always turn off a couple so I can focus on the one that I want to and edit that one. Or I can lock all the other ones by clicking the little lock button in the layers palette so that even if I tried to, I couldn't move any of those other things. Oops, I didn't lock my big old purple background. Maybe lock that one. And I can unlock it by clicking on those locks as well so that the things that I want locked or I want to have access to are the only things that I can move around until I unlock the other things. There we go. So that is the Move tool.